If medieval people had truly been crude or careless, their buildings would not still be standing. Yet across Europe, wooden beams, doors, roof frames and harbour pilings have survived for centuries, sometimes nearly a millennium, exposed to moisture, insects and time. These structures were not preserved by modern chemicals or factory coatings. They lasted because medieval builders understood wood as a living material. They worked with its grain, moisture, oils and resins instead of sealing it inside plastic layers. Long before synthetic sealants, medieval craftsmen developed preservation methods so effective that many modern treatments still fail to match their longevity. This wasn't accidental survival. It was the result of deliberate technique, learned through generations of trial, observation and necessity. Why medieval builders treated wood as a biological material rather than a dead product? Medieval craftsmen understood that wood moves, breathes and responds to moisture. Instead of trying to lock it in place, they allowed it to behave naturally while slowing decay. Modern sealants often trap moisture inside wood, accelerating rot from within. Medieval methods focused on drying, saturating and protecting wood while keeping it breathable. You know, this mindset alone explains why medieval timbers often outlast modern construction lumber. How seasoning and timing mattered more than any surface coating. Wood preservation really began before the tree was even cut. Medieval builders, they felled trees in winter when sap content was lowest. Lower sap meant fewer sugars for insects and fungi. And then logs were seasoned for years, not just months. Slow air drying allowed internal moisture to escape without cracking the grain. In some regions, wood was partially buried or even submerged in running water to leach out remaining sugars before final drying. This reduced rot and insect damage dramatically. Modern fast-dried lumber, well, it skips this process entirely. So, why did tar pitch and resin actually work better than, most modern waterproof sealants? Well, medieval builders used pine tar, wood tar pitch and resin not just as surface paints, but really as penetrating treatments. Heated tar would soak deep into the wood fibres, pushing out moisture and honestly creating a rather hostile environment for insects and fungi. Unlike many modern sealants that just form a sort of brittle skin, tar stayed flexible. This flexibility really mattered. As wood expanded and contracted, the tar moved right along with it, instead of, cracking apart. That's exactly why medieval ships, bridges and roofs managed to endure decades of harsh exposure. Now, let's talk about how charring wood created a sort of natural armour against rot and insects. One of the most effective medieval techniques was controlled charring. The outer surface of beams, posts and stakes was burned just lightly, then brushed clean. Charring destroyed surface sugars and sealed up the pores, making the wood much more resistant to moisture absorption and insect attack. This method is still used today in Japanese shosugiban, but it was practiced across medieval Europe for fence posts, foundations and structural beams. Charred wood placed in soil lasted far longer than untreated posts. Why limewash and mineral coatings protected wood without trapping moisture? Medieval builders often coated exterior wood with limewash or mineral slurries. Lime is naturally alkaline and hostile to mold, insects and bacteria. It also allows moisture to escape. Unlike modern paints, limewash doesn't seal wood airtight. Over time, limewash slowly erodes, carrying contaminants away instead of locking them in. This sacrificial protection preserved wood beneath for generations. You know, placement and design in medieval times were really all about preservation, not just decoration. Medieval builders, well, they actually designed structures to protect wood passively. Roof overhangs, for example, kept rain off the walls. Stone foundations lifted those wooden posts right off the wet ground. Drainage, too, was intentional, nothing accidental about it. And, you see, wood that stayed dry, well, it survived. These days, modern design often ignores those time-tested principles and instead relies on chemical coatings to make up for honestly poor water management. So, these techniques, they can absolutely still be applied today. For anyone restoring old buildings, building off-grid structures, or, well, just preparing for long-term resilience, medieval wood preservation offers some really proven solutions. Season your lumber slowly whenever possible, and, use tar or natural oils that penetrate, rather than plastic coatings that just trap moisture. So, first, you want to char your posts before placing them in the soil. Then, it's important to elevate wood off the ground whenever possible. Always design for drainage first, that's key. You might also consider applying breathable coatings, like limewash, where it's appropriate. And these steps don't require any industrial chemicals, just a bit of patience and understanding, really. Why did modern construction abandon what actually worked? Well, speed and cost have replaced longevity, haven't they? Industrial lumber these days is harvested fast, dried fast, sealed fast, and installed fast. The result, unfortunately, is wood that rots from the inside out. Medieval builders, they optimized for survival and durability because, frankly, failure meant real consequences. Their methods were slower, sure, but they worked. So, what does medieval wood preservation actually teach us about real durability? Well, durability isn't about overpowering nature with chemicals. Not at all. It's really about understanding materials deeply enough to work with them. Medieval craftsmen preserved wood not by fighting moisture, but by managing it. Not by sealing life out, but by slowing decay naturally. If this exploration of medieval engineering and survival knowledge added value to your understanding of history and long-lasting construction, do consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dives like this. And share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, builders, and preparedness-minded viewers. These lessons still matter.